for joining us for the PHNX Suns postgame show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Hit that like button and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Lindsey Smith here with Saul, Bookman, and Espo. Gerald Bourguet will be joining us shortly.
Maybe.
Well, a little later.
We might be done before
he gets there.
We'll see. But tonight, the Phoenix Suns took down the New Orleans Pelicans 124-111. I will not lie to you guys. This game was a smidge boring.
Oh, my God.
A smidge? Until that fourth quarter, it was extremely boring.
But we watched it. We're going to talk about it, and we will do our best to make it sound way more exciting than it actually was.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this? You think you can handle this?
Let's do it. Did anybody notice something in the intro?
No, but I don't think anybody did.
I don't think anybody
Which is
did.
amazing. You guys are really unobservant.
You guys are
You
asleep,
normally
too.
are. But nobody noticed it. Nobody noticed it. I guess at the end of the show, you guys have to go back and watch the very beginning again and see if you noticed our little Easter egg in there, I guess you could say.
I'm pretty sure Emma's going to get a call. Good luck, Emma.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks.
All right. So, like I said, it wasn't the most exciting game, but it was a physical game, which is something that we did know was going to happen coming into this game. However, I didn't expect it to be physical in the sense that every other play, one of our guys was going to get hit in the face or an ankle twisted or something of that sort. I think it got a little too physical at times from the Pelicans. It seemed like Jock Landale took at least 5 hits to the face tonight.
Don't ruin Jock's beautiful face, damn it.
He took a lot to the mouth.
Are you eating a fruit roll-up right now?
Yeah.
Saul,
What's wrong with that?
we're supposed to be talking.
I'm talking.
And you got fruit roll-up in your mouth?
I'm not smacking my gums or anything like that.
Where's the professionalism? This show is nothing if it's not professional. How are we doing
Jock
this?
has gotten hit in the face probably.
He's gotten hit a lot.
Be careful where you're
probably
going.
about 8 to 10 times this season already.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There's nowhere I can go with it. That's good.
No,
So
you saved yourself. there.
anything I
Lindsey,
say
please get
will
us
be
back
HR
on track.
on line 1. So I'm not going to do any of that.
We do not have any Jock injuries to update you guys on, but unfortunately, we do have a Deandre injury to update
but we do
you guys
have
on.
face injuries.
Deandre Ayton left the game early in the first quarter after what some say he stepped on Valanciunas' foot. Others are saying Valanciunas kind of slid his foot under DA
Yeah, it was a
when
dirty
DA was in
play.
the air, and it should have been a flagrant, potentially a dirty play.
Dirty
But
bastard.
either which way, DA landed on his foot and then grabbed his ankle when he hit the ground, and he left pretty much after that. And then we got a report from the Suns later on in the game that he wasn't going to come back because he had a left ankle sprain.
DA's got sensitive feet anyway.
And he wears low tops too, which doesn't
And he
help.
wears low tops,
And he wears
which
Pumas.
I do not understand. I still like.
It's because
Yeah.
does Puma make a high top? I don't think they
Listen,
do.
Puma didn't have a basketball shoe until DA. If DA wanted a high top, Puma would have made him a high top.
Message.
I'm just saying.
I don't think they have any high tops.
If you
want to
get in the basketball game and you're signing a big to your brand, and if they want a high top, you better make them a high top. That's all I'm saying. But I'm guessing it's
I don't
DA's
disagree. Yeah,
option. I think it's DeAndre's option. Sorry, I got a little angry at you there.
like, God, if he wanted a high top, damn it.
I'm just upset.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
you
want our
should be.
guys getting hurt in this type of fashion. This is ridiculous.
Look, I'm going to be the voice of reason here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can laugh at it, but I'm going to.
All right, let's do it.
The center position is the strength of position or
Try
position
again.
of.
Start over.
I'm going to be the voice of reason.
here.
I haven't even had a Four Peaks tonight or an OG's. I'm going to be the voice of reason tonight. And a position of strength is the center position, so we don't have to worry about it. That's where I was going. So.
All right, cool.
This is true, because if there is one thing that we can take a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Solace?
Yes.
Solace in, is that we have Bismack Biyombo as our backup point guard. I'm sorry, center. We are all on one tonight.
I would love to see Bismack as the third.
And you
string
worried
point
about
guard.
me eating a fruit roll-up. You guys can't even talk.
Look, it's like having your third car be like a real nice BMW. Maybe it's got some miles on it, but it's nice.
But it's a
You
solid car.
take it out of the garage and you're like,
It's
hey,
it's
I'm
like
good.
you're pulling out of Devin Booker's garage. You're one of those fancy cars.
Yeah, you're
3, 4,
You're a
5,
little
6
older.
deep, doesn't matter.
but you're solid.
Yeah, I mean, he comes in and he takes care of business, and you know that Bismack's going to bring the energy. He can rebound like nobody's business. We saw that last year. He's great with Chris Paul on the pick and roll with the lobs, right?
Mhm.
Chris Paul finds him. Mikal is really good at finding him as well. It's quite the luxury to have a guy like that is the backup to your backup at center.
Bismack Biyombo played 23 minutes and he had a game high 13 rebounds. He also had 11 points. So the fact that he hasn't played that many minutes at all this year, and he was in with the starting unit as well, that's solid work from Bismack Biyombo. So we had to give him a flower or two here at the top of the show because he held it down for us when things could have gotten a little out of control there, because the Suns did come out of the gates looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the Pelicans got back into this and the Suns went cold. And then DA got hurt. And then it was basically any man's game at that point in time. But the Suns were able to figure it out.
Well, and a lot of it did come at the beginning of that third quarter when Bismack started with the starters in that third quarter, and they kind of stretched that. And then the dam really broke in the third quarter. But I mean, this is the kind of game where you could have easily lost. It would have been easy to go, all right, we don't have it, NDA's hurt, and okay, we'll get him next time. But they came out, and I'm gonna have a mea culpa. You did it with Landry Shamet the other day.
I really regret that.
Then you backtracked, but
Landry wasn't bad
Yeah.
tonight. Landry looked decent.
you're not going to pull the ripcord on Landry Shamet and all this. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, but the Suns bench isn't bad. And I was one of the people pounding the table saying how atrocious I thought it was going to be. And through 5 games, they've been actually very serviceable. And tonight, we're actually very good, and the reason this team won with Devin Booker going MIA as well.
When you have 3 people, there's 3 key contributors here that we did not expect to play at the level that they're playing at. Number 1, obviously, Jock.
Mm-hmm.
He is playing above and beyond what we could have ever hoped he would bring, especially considering the terrible year he had in San Antonio last season and his career as a whole. You just didn't expect to see that. On top of that, Cam Payne looks like he's getting back to form of what he was 2 years ago. He's making quick decisions. He looks like he has a little bit of explosiveness getting to the basket. He's making those little flip shots again. It's great to see. And then 3, you add in oh my God, why am I blanking? Damian Lee. And what he's provided, especially in game 1 against the Mavs, and he seems like he's been a pretty good force defensively for sure. Offensively, he gives you a little bit of a perimeter shot. And then when you throw in guys like Torrey Craig, that's when the big difference starts to come in. And you saw that tonight. You throw in Bismack. You're right, Espo. I think this bench probably heard a lot of the noise about how trash they were probably going to be this season and how a lot of people slept on them. And they are definitely the pleasant surprise so far in this early part of the season.
I think it's in part chemistry, right? Because sometimes a bench group plays better the total than the individual parts, right? And I feel like that's what's going on here. These guys very much, and you could see it when Landale would get a dunk off a lob. The guys on the bench are freaking out. The guys on the court are. There's a chemistry thing with this bench group, so I give them a lot of credit. And if I told you before the game or any night this season that Devin Booker and CP3 combined for 23 points and 7 of 21 shooting, you would have said Suns lost, right? Not a 13-point victory. That's the bench.
Yeah. I mean, it's been fun to watch this group come together, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the energy that they all bring night in and night out. They
Mhm.
seem to be having a good time out there, even when they're taking elbows to the face. Like, it just seems like they all like to play with each other. And being that some of them, a good amount of them on that bench unit are newer to this team, that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we had supposed concerns around vibes before the season started.
And somebody in the chat said it, but
There was a super chat. You want to read that one?
We
from
can
Manny?
get that, but somebody said that here it is. It's Brittany Price says Payne's chemistry with Landale is so much better than with JaVale.
Mhm.
And I think that's been key. I think Cam Payne is so much a vibes guy, right? If he's feeling good, if he's feeling in a flow with him, his offense gets going and he gets his teammates involved. I think that's been a key for him this year.
The key is the fact that what we talk about, what's the biggest difference between Jock and JaVale? What is it?
Spacing.
Spacing.
And-
Because JaVale cannot shoot from the outside. So when Jock pulls away, he creates more space and more opportunity for Cam Payne to be able to make plays. And you could tell that's the same thing that happened with Dario the year before. JaVale cut that off. And Cam Payne struggled with that mightily. It's a huge difference. Even if it's just a few feet, it makes such a big impact on a guy like Cam Payne, and you can see it in his face.
Well, Jock's a smarter basketball, and that's not I don't mean that rudely to JaVale, but I just think he's a more fundamentally sound basketball player
He is.
too. So for a backup point guard, that gives you more confidence as a guy. You know it's not going to be, oh crap, what is he doing? You know you can trust him. You know, so I think all those factors become very important with Payne.
We have a super chat from Manny. Manny said, this bench gives me 2010 vibes, which was the best Suns bench in history, in my opinion. So Payne is Dragic, Shamet is Barbosa, Lee is Dudley, Craig is Amundsen, Landale is Fry.
I would agree with some of those, except for the obvious one. And I don't say this because, obviously everybody knows I'm kind of, I'm not on the Shamet train. But you can't even compare Shamet to Leandro Barbosa. Leandro Barbosa was a bucket. And Shamet is whatever the opposite of a bucket is.
Shamet hasn't been that bad, though. Give him a smidge of a break.
Tell me why.
He's getting better.
Tell me why
He's
I
got
should give him
more
a
confidence.
smidge of a break.
He had 5 points tonight. He was a plus 13, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from deep. And he had 2 assists and a steal.
In how many minutes?
17. But the fact that he's
more than a quarter.
Okay, I get that, but there were times last year where he was worse than what we've seen from him in all of the games he's played so far this season.
He's just a non-factor out there.
I'm not saying he's a game changer.
Okay.
I'm not expecting Landry to be a game changer. I just don't want him to be a liability.
Do either of you remember the sketch TV show Mad TV? It was like Fox's answer to Saturday Night Live.
I think so.
They had a sketch on there. It was a dating service that they called Lowered Expectations, where it was like, you should just accept you're going to have to date somebody that's trashier than you want. That's what this feels like to me. It's, the lowered expectations of, well, look, he's better than what he was, I guess. Like, we're making excuses. Landry Shamet is passable, all right, fine. But let's not act as if he's some key.
No, and that's not what I'm doing. But I also don't want to shit all over the guy when he doesn't deserve that right now either. In my opinion.
Connor says it accurately in the chat. He's like, he's doing something out there, Saul. Come on now.
Something.
Okay, he's doing something out there. Yes, I agree.
You're being a brat.
It's true.
You are being a brat. You leave Landry Shamet alone.
Oh my God.
Lowered expectations.
He is doing his best. Okay.
Let's see. The ceiling is not the floor. Okay, not for this franchise. He has to do more.
He'll get there. Just give him some time, Saul. Just give him.
He was
time.
plus 13 tonight. The chat wants you to know.
Yeah, exactly.
The Girthlings are demanding.
He was absolutely.
Exactly.
He was plus 13 because of everybody else that surrounds him.
Also, I got a message from Gerald right now, and he was able to talk with Monty Williams. Just
I
a quick update.
He was able to talk to Landry Shamet.
I'm going to text Gerald to have him talk to Landry. And I don't know what, but we're going to have conversations. Anyway, he talked to Monty, and Monty said he has no update on DeAndre's ankle at this point in time, Maybe we'll have something more official tomorrow, but sorry. The news is there is no news around Deandre Ayton tonight.
Are you shocked?
No,
did we
not at
really
all.
expect Body to come out? Well, here's the X-ray, and here's exactly what we know.
No.
Marty never shares anything after the game.
No, but he usually how it works is he's fine. As far as I've heard, he's good, or we don't have any updates, which means it could be bad.
It is easier to get top secret documents out of the National Archive than it is to get injury information out of the Suns. All right, they're not going to tell you anything after the game.
I mean, that's fine. I get it. I get it.
By the way, Girthlings, if you want me to say it, I've seen a few people in the chat say that you got to get to 100 likes. You're 29. Get better.
Yeah, we got a whole lot to get.
We get 1,000 likes, and I will interview Landry Shaman.
Okay, wait. Espo.
Landry would say no to you. Landry would tell you to kick rocks, but in much meaner words.
That doesn't bother me.
Yes,
What's up,
Emma.
Emma?
So the first time that you demanded likes, you said 100, and then the next one you went to 150. Why the hell are we going back to 100?
Well, because we got fewer people in the chat. I don't feel the energy from the Girthlings tonight, so I gotta spoon feed them a little
Also,
bit.
do we have to say it every show? Like, it should be special. If we say it after the Pelicans, bleh.
Saul, I'm the person that needs somebody to tell me they love me every 5 minutes.
Well, listen, you're good.
So I'm
But
just
you're
gonna
telling
say it.
them.
Listen, Brian in
No,
the
I need
chat
them to-
said, I liked the video, and Espo thinks we're fighting, LOL. And he still liked it, even though you thought he was mad at you. He's not.
All
He's
right.
still supportive.
Well, he is, but that's
He's
no,
not.
I'm just kidding, Brian. It's
Real
a fake
quick,
beef.
did you guys see? We I don't know if you guys were able to have this wherever you were watching games, but we've got a pretty cool setup here at PHNX.
Humble brag.
Thanks to more furniture. And so we had baseball, basketball, and hockey on all the TVs in our viewing area, chilling in our awesome, amazing more furniture chairs. Thanks to them for helping us set up our viewing area. It makes watching games a heck of a lot more fun and way more comfortable. If you guys are in the market for some new furniture, you should check out their fall furniture sale at morefurniture.com. Every $1,000 you spend will get you a $100 gift card. Again, that's morefurniture.com. And the Coyotes crew just showed up because they had their inaugural home game at Mullet Arena, and there was a tailgate / watch party out at Four Peaks tonight. Sean was out there. He said it was a lot of fun. We had beer specials available for everyone who was able to go out over there. And a quick reminder on Four Peaks, tomorrow, Saturday, they've got a hookup for you guys. So some discounted beer. We're talking $15 for a 24-pack of the fall variety pack. Again, this is this Saturday, which is tomorrow, only at Four Peaks Wilson Tasting Room on Wilson Street in Tempe.
Wilson!
From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the first 50 people there also will get a free Oktoberfest t-shirt. So you might want to wake up early and check that out.
Oktoberfest shirts are sick. Got one of
Mhm.
those. And the double pumpkin porter in that pack is elite. So I highly recommend it.
Yes. Just a reminder, you do have to be 21 years or older to enjoy Four Peaks beer, and we ask that you enjoy responsibly.
All right, let's adjust something real quick in
What
the
are
chat.
we addressing in the chat?
First of all, scroll up there, Emma. Somebody said, hey, Bees, Saul's a hater because apparently I'm not the leader of the Shamit fan club. Okay, cool. And then also, mind your manners, don't be rude, and don't be coming at people all kind of effed up there. You know who you are.
Yeah, Brian, Saul's talking to you.
Don't start
I'm kidding,
shenanigans with Brian. He didn't
I'm
do anything.
kidding.
Brian gave you a super chat and said, I'm only fighting for likes, Espo. For likes.
I'm kidding, Brian. It's all about the entertainment value with your girthlings.
Brian, thank you for your super chat. We also got one from Icon and said, how much I need to pay for Espo to never say it.
Icon, after what you put in the chat in the pregame,
That was gold.
Yeah, I mean, come
That
on.
was
How much
gold.
do I have to pay you not to do that? I mean, come on.
No, there is no amount of money. You keep going, son. I appreciate
Also,
that.
if you guys didn't understand that joke, we're not going to let you in on it. One, because I'm not repeating it ever. I'm not even saying it ever. But two, it just means you have to show up to the pregame shows because that's where a majority of the inside jokes start.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
And then Rick says, black jerseys this year, Black Valley jerseys last year. Sunburst purple jerseys this year, F, Mary, Kill.
Ooh.
It's F all of them, of course.
Oh.
That's
No.
That's how much they excite me.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
Oh, I
what?
was like, what?
I was thinking you were killing them all. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was
I got you.
confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so black jerseys this year, Black Valley jerseys last year, and Sunburst purple F, Mary, Kill.
I would Black Valley jerseys last year would be the F. For me, the Sunburst purple this year would be Mary, and I would kill this year's black.
I agree 100%.
I'm marrying the purple.
Of course you are.
It's been a
Which
love
is-
of my life.
Which is what I said.
But I actually think
Oh my God, are you going to
Dude,
kill the
you
Valley
don't.
jersey?
I absolutely don't,
F
Espo.
with this year's black
No, you
oh
don't.
my
No, you
and
don't.
kill the Valley.
God.
No. Espo's just trying to be different. There's no way.
No.
There's no way.
Espo, doggone it.
You've even gone on record so many times saying that that's one of the it's probably the second best jersey in the history of the Suns.
But that's how I'm just saying. That's how much I actually am starting to really like this year's black jerseys.
This year's black jersey is.
Hey,
hold on.
Tracy's in the chat.
My wife says, "Love of your life." Excuse me. We had this conversation before we got married. That the Suns and that era of Suns were always my first love, all right?
Oh, man.
And you were accepting of that. So that's just the way it has to be.
Rick in the chat said this year's black jerseys are so underrated. Listen, I do think this year's black
They're
jerseys,
nice.
they're nice. They look great. But when you compare them to the Valley, I think they're a step below it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Tracy, purple jersey.
Purple jersey.
No, you're
You're
such a
stupid.
liar.
You should have said put those two things together.
Tracy,
Tracy,
get
and
a
a purple
jersey.
Oh, see.
Excuse me.
Damn it, Espo.
I gotta get home.
Oh my God.
Espo, I don't know
We're
if you have a
doing our
home
best,
home
Tracy.
Back so
We're
fast,
trying.
huh?
I'm
All right,
quick. What
all
can I
right.
say?
Let's get back to basketball.
All right.
Mikal Bridges.
Was awesome.
Yes, Mikal Bridges had himself a night. He one end of the court to the other.
You're
He
trying
was
to give
just
me a high five.
like flying back
I
and
was just
forth.
about to go like this.
Like Mikal was just, it was insane. It was so enjoyable to watch Mikal Bridges tonight. And thank God for him because he had a game high 27 points tonight. And without those 27 points, the Suns definitely would not have won this game.
Well, he was the spark plug. Somebody had to get the team going because they were kind of in a funk like we were just watching the game. Like, okay, what's happening here? These guys, the Pelicans were shooting the lights out from three, and we're just wondering what's going on. And ironically enough, Mikal started going off right when the Phillies were starting to really put the foot to the metal there in the World Series. So I don't know those two things.
Mikal Bridges is the epitome of what this era of Suns basketball is. Defense, hustle, and excitement. And on nights like this, when he's flying around on both ends of the court, it's one of the most fun things to watch.
Yeah.
This dude is exciting.
He really is. And for all of those reasons and more, we are going to name Mikal Bridges our draft king of the game.
Yeah.
So Mikal's official stat line for this one, 27 points.
Mikal Bridges.
He was 3 of 5 from deep. He also had 3 blocks. In addition to that, he had 4 assists, 2 rebounds, and he was 10 of 13 from the field. So the reason why on this graphic I chose to highlight the 3-pointers is because in the first 4 games, Mikal Bridges had 5 3-point attempts. And tonight, he had 5 3-point attempts in this single game. And I think this is something that we got to get some more of this out of Mikal. He can't be taking 1 or 2 attempts a night. We got to get a couple more.
Well, I think sometimes when guys go down with injury, like DA did, somebody
has to
step up. Devin was definitely off tonight. He wasn't feeling it. Chris hasn't shot the ball for shit all year. And so somebody had to pick up the slack. And I'm so happy to see Mikal say, you know what? I got it. I'm going to do this. And he did it in such a variety of ways. It wasn't just scoring on one end. It was the block shots, the loose balls, the steals. He was phenomenal tonight. It's probably one of the best games that I've seen Mikal Bridges play. It's definitely a top 3 game for him because of everything he did. There was a sequence there where literally like every 5 seconds he was making a play, and that's exactly what we're hoping for from him. That's what's going to take this team from a contender to the front runner this year.
In the last 2 games, he is 17 of 21 for 43 points. This could be the offensive awakening we've been waiting for with Mikal Bridges. He's had moments, but maybe this is where we finally see the consistency from Mikal offensively that we've all been hoping for. And I'm just going to say it. He is the best value in basketball.
Jay agrees
100%.
Jay,
best value.
Jay said best contract in the NBA equals Mikal.
Yes, 100%.
Shout out to Mikal for hooking us up and giving us more years of him here in the Valley at a family-friendly discounted rate.
By the way, also props to Emma for impeccable crown placement. That has been so much better than it was last year. So.
Shane over here catching strays.
I did half of it last year too.
This is true. She did, remember?
Ooh.
Well,
She
you got
did.
better from last year
Man.
then.
It's
too.
true.
Just burying everybody tonight, Espo.
Including myself.
Yes,
Sleep on the couch
absolutely.
at home, sleep on the couch here at work.
At least they're for more furniture, so they're really comfy.
Exactly.
Hey,
That's
I took
one
a
thing.
nap on the couch up front and back here. Ooh, chef's kiss. Great nap.
I may have to furnish a whole new apartment,
We-
so let's get them on the phone.
Yeah, Emma was in a deep sleep tonight, and we almost fucked with her, but we didn't.
Oh, why
Appreciate
didn't
it.
anybody tell me that? I didn't know she was
You
asleep.
weren't here because you don't show up until like an hour before we do these things.
Oh, you mean earlier today? But you said tonight.
I said
Making
today.
it seem like it was whatever. Anyway, back to Mikal. So shout out to Mikal. Also, in addition to all the fun stuff we got on the court, basketball wise, we also got some really great memes tonight. Couple bobbleheads from Mikal when he had really big plays or hit a big shot. And then at one point in time, I think it was pregame, I retweeted it because somebody had tweeted it on my timeline and I retweeted it. And it was the cutest thing. It was Cam Payne, Mikal Bridges, and Deandre Ayton doing like a 3-person high five. And it was so precious, you guys. If you have not seen it, please go to Twitter and find that video.
It looks like when you're drunk in the club
It was
and
so
you and your
cute.
friends get the song you want to hear and you're like, high five, let's have some fun. I haven't been to a club in a very long time.
But it was so cute.
Emma,
you have to see it,
I
you
am
guys.
3 years older than you or 4 years?
4.
4 years older than I have never done that in the club. I've never been like, guys, our song is on. I've never seen it. I've never done it. I don't know what the hell he's
You
talking
haven't
about.
gone to the good clubs then, Bookman.
I can tell you, I've been to the good ones. Yeah, I've never seen that happen, buddy.
Or ever.
Okay,
Tracy
I've never
says.
been to a club. My wife just outed me. Fine.
Well,
Let
you
me go hang
started
out in the
it.
bereavement section.
To be fair, you started it. You did. Real quick, I do want to remind you guys that sports are a heck of a lot more fun with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, especially Suns basketball. And right now, new customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 if your team wins. So you should download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use that promo code PHNX when you sign up so you can take advantage of these awesome deals that DraftKings is trying to give you right now. Also, you can boost your winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Once again, that is promo code PHNX only on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Why are you guys looking at me like that?
My guy really is going to sleep on the couch tonight.
What is
Because
happening?
he just said, like, after the whole club thing, he was like, well, fine, I guess I'll just stick to the bereavement section. And then his wife was like, wife, hello. Like, oh, God, my guy is just getting deeper and deeper.
Well, you know how it goes. It's
I'm
just
glad my wife doesn't watch these shows. So I'll tell you that right now.
Look, I'm going to say this. All right?
Hold on.
I'm
Are
taking
you sure?
Are you
have
really
you thought
gonna-
this
I have.
through?
You're going
I
to triple
have.
down on this?
I have.
Oh, my God.
Let's look at it. 6 years ago, almost exactly right now, my wife went into labor, and then 9 a.m. the next morning gave me the greatest gift ever. So, Tracy, thank you very much for everything you do, and thank you for giving birth to our daughter 6 years ago right now.
Oh, that was cute.
Oh, right on cue. She
Happy
says, good thing you
birthday,
cover these
Ro.
games because that's the only game you got.
I mean, it's true.
Oh no.
Well.
Oh no.
And yet I still got you. Ha! Anyways.
Saul,
Mm-hmm.
are you going to tell us what tonight's PHNX factor is?
Am I?
Yep. I think you're going to tell us.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely...
Torrey Craig!
Torrey Craig!
The
I was trying to remember. I was like, damn it, which one was it? Damn, I was thinking Cam Payne. Yeah, it's Torrey Craig. Torrey was awesome. Listen, Torrey and Cam, if you just closed your eyes and you thought about 2021, you'd have been like, oh, man, we're right back. This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are flying around the court. Torrey's energy this year has been elite. I don't know what he's eating before the game. I don't know what he's drinking during the game, but he needs to continue doing it because he's playing at a very high level energy-wise. And that's what these guys on the bench bring, a lot of energy. Like they got to, because if they come out like they did a lot of times last year where they're just kind of going through the motions, they're no good. They're no good to anybody. And I thought that was really what was lacking so much, especially in the playoffs last year. You saw the Mavericks and how excited they were for just throwing a pass. You know what I mean? Like, and the Suns were missing that joyful, excitement. And I think that when Torrey Craig and Cam Payne and now Jock are in that flow, it just provides such a boost to this team, and they're going to need that as the season goes on. So it's very exciting to see, and I'm so happy for Torrey Craig because obviously a friend of the program.
One of my favorite interviews.
We love him so much, and we really love what he brings to the table. He's got a great personality. Guys love him, and so phenomenal job tonight overall.
Yeah, his energy's been spectacular. He couldn't shoot the three for anything last year after they reacquired him, but he's found that stroke again. Without him tonight, they lose. He was the guy that when they were playing rough, he bounced back and played with heart and reminded these guys what they can do out there.
I didn't realize this until I just went and looked at his stats, but he was perfect from the field tonight. He was 6 of 6 from the field. He 1 of 1 from the 3-point line, and he finished with 13 points. I didn't realize that for him tonight. That's fantastic. Yeah, he was in the first half of this game specifically. Obviously, he played well throughout the entire thing, but in the first half, he was playing out of his mind. Yeah. It was fun to watch. Everything that I saw on Twitter was, this is the Torrey Craig we know and love. Like Torrey Craig finally getting back to form, like finding his game, his rhythm again here with his Suns team. And it's easy to root for a guy like that, especially since we knew what Torrey Craig could do. Yeah. And last year when we got him back on this team, it just, for whatever reason, didn't work out very well. It was frustrating. We were all upset. I'm sure he was upset. So it's really nice to be able to root for this guy to find his form again and have a performance like he did tonight, and hopefully be able to continue that throughout the season because, like we said, PHNX factor, that will be huge for us.
Yeah, for sure. There are two things that we should bring up because it's been in the chat quite a bit. The first one is Dario.
Yeah.
And people are asking, where's Dario? Why is he not playing? To be honest with you, I don't think the Suns see a need to play him because I think they probably are looking at him as a possible trade chip at this point because, listen, Jock has played very well. You don't really need him. If Torrey Craig is giving you that energy off the bench the way he has, you don't really need Dario to replace him. Bismack is Bismack. So I don't know if Dario really has a role right now on this team. Like he's on the outside looking in, and he has been for about the last year. When it comes to Chris Paul, yes, we've talked at length about Chris Paul. Tonight he did not play very well. He is right now averaging a career low in PER or per, if you will. I talked about the league average is 15. He's at a 15.9, which would be the lowest of his entire career.
Still better than half the league, though.
It just says that's the league average.
Which means better than any point guard they had before Ricky Rubio after Dragic left.
But he is getting $40 million a year. You expect him to do more. He's certainly able to do probably a little bit more. For whatever reason, shooting wise, he has just not had a good start to this season. Hopefully that turns around. That's the best I can say, because to me, I'm gonna just keep going back to it. I know stats are cool, and he's gonna get the assists. With the 4 guys that he has around him constantly, it's pretty easy to me to get 9 assists a game, but you expect more from Chris Paul, and time will tell whether or not we're gonna get that.
Okay.
How's that? That wasn't as bad.
That wasn't as mean. I'll give you that. Saul was going hard at Chris Paul during the game, and we were fighting his PR.
No, before Chris Paul. There was you were talking
Dario
about 2 things.
Saric?
Dario, thank
Yeah.
you. Couldn't remember.
Oh, good.
I'm too old for this shit. Anyways, Dario Saric, combined, him and Jay Crowder have played 2 minutes this year. 2 minutes, $20 million. There's something going on there. They will make a move involving those guys at some point in the near future.
You know who's probably looking to have a fire sale?
If you say the Nets, I swear to God. So.
No. No, I don't even want to touch the Nets. The Lakers.
What do you want off that Lakers? Nothing. I don't want anything off that
What do you
Lakers
want?
roster.
I don't really know. I don't even want anything, really. I just like the
Oh, you
fact that
just
they're
wanted to
0-5.
throw shade at the Lakers real quick?
They gotta trade everybody, and they have nothing to trade. It's awesome. This is the best possible scenario if you're a Suns fan, is to watch the Lakers burn.
Yeah.
Just
they're
absolutely burn
struggle
because they
busting.
overpaid for guys, or they traded all their assets to get these guys for one bubble championship, which to me doesn't mean shit because that's such a fluke. And here we are.
Okay, so back to Dario. Do you think that he's hurt? Or if not, and he's not playing simply because he's not needed, or he might be involved in a trade later on, do you think that it would be wise to play him a little bit, maybe in garbage time minutes, to show off, remind people what he's capable of? Because it's been a while since he's played.
No, because any trade you're making isn't based on Dario. You're matching salary. You're likely trading for a guy with a contract that's longer than 1 year, or a guy that a team wants to move off of, whatever the case. It's salary based. It's not based on what Dario is going to do on the court. If Jay and Dario are packaged for a bigger piece, it's going to involve a lot of picks too, and that's what the team's going to be most interested in. Jay, I still think can contribute. Dario isn't going to be the centerpiece of some kind of deal, so I don't think you have to showcase anything with him.
I feel bad for Dario a little bit. Like Monty's talked him up a lot before the season started and in preseason, and we were all really looking forward to seeing Dario back out here on the court. Obviously, super happy with Jock Landale and his performance thus far this season, but I do feel a little bit bad that we haven't seen Dario at all, and he hasn't gotten any information.
It's unfortunate that Dario got hurt in Game 1 of the NBA Finals on basically the first play that he had, and then has really not seen an NBA court since. That's the unfortunate part, because he is a truly nice person. He's always been accommodating, really nice. Even with the language barrier, he still goes the extra effort to try and understand what's going on and stuff like that. And that part, yes. On the business side of things, no, you can't play him because you don't want to run the risk of him getting hurt. And you need to use that piece if you can for compensation purposes, because whoever you try to bring in, you're looking at somebody that's going to have a $10 to $20 million salary because you need them to be a contributor on this year's team. That's why you don't want to play him.
I still want Harrison Barnes.
Same.
Out of those two guys.
I don't think you guys are alone in that one. I've seen a lot of chatter around him again get brought up in recent days, I guess you will. We have a super chat from Perplex Damage. They said, "Thank you, Lindsey, for using a coaster." Because I have a water bottle here, and it was sitting right next to the coaster. And they sent me a note in the chat to put it on the coaster.
Perplex is our more furniture rep.
There you go.
Just to make sure we're taking care of the furniture.
Well, to be fair, it's a room temperature water, so it's not.
No condensation.
There's no condensation on it, so we're okay. I promise. All right, guys. So I got an update from Gerald. He's got updates for us on Torrey Craig. He talked to Bismack Biyombo as well as Coach. He's waiting to talk to Mikal Bridges now. Obviously, the man of the night. Is there anything else from tonight's game that you guys would like to discuss before we go into one of our final segments before Gerald gets here?
I don't really have anything.
Well,
that sounded like you were going to continue to say something. Are you sure?
However,
are you sure?
What gives you the right?
Look, well, first, the Girthlings failed, so I'm not saying it tonight. So
no, you don't get it tonight.
You're welcome, Saul. You guys are disappointing me on that. But look, tonight is the kind of game that you easily could have lost. We talked about how the first 5 looked daunting when you looked at the beginning of the schedule, and the Suns came out of it 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean,
and 4 of those teams made the playoffs last year.
Yes, and this is after they were left for dead by the national media. The vibes are bad. It felt like a funeral. This team is in disarray. The chemistry sucks. DA doesn't want to be there. All these things, you just kept going and going. And they just came out and they played ball. And that's what they've done every step of the way over the last 2.5 years. Doesn't matter what the noise is. They go out and they play and they continue to win.
Mm-hmm. So. Absolutely. All right. So we here at PHNX have come up with a brand new segment for you guys.
We put it through the great think tank that is PHNX to come up with this.
But before we get to that segment, Espo has a special Halloween surprise for you guys.
Oh, it's my ass.
This is your time to shine, Espo.
Nookie Monster is back.
To
tell you about OG's. Our friends at OG's Brands are flavoring your dreams now too. Oh yes. Oh, they flavor them like cookies. Yes. I love that. I love that Saul left. I should do Nookie Monster all the time. OG's is spectacular. You should follow them on Instagram at OG's Brands or visit at ogsbrands.com for the great sleep gummies in that aquaberry flavor. Aquaberry. Oh, yes, that is the good stuff. Go OG's Brands. Yes, Nookie Monster enjoys.
Just a reminder, you do have to be 21 years or older to purchase. And we also ask that you enjoy these responsibly. Okay, our brand new segment is called Waiting for Gerald. And in this segment, we're going to talk about whatever random shenanigans are on the top of our head or whatever things the chat wants us to talk about.
I love that we're acting as if this is a new segment, as if we didn't do this all last season.
No, but now it's branded. Now it's branded. It's official, you guys. We're getting graphics made. We'll probably have a sound effect at some point in time. We're on it.
Emma, can we have the chat vote on if Nookie Monster should come back later in the season? Okay. Thank you.
I love just making Saul uncomfortable with that.
Okay, so our first Waiting for Gerald question comes from Rach in the chat. Says, wait, who was the person in the intro? I thought I was just crazy or missed something earlier. So the graphic, Rach, you're the first person who noticed that one. At least that said anything. So congratulations to you. You get a cookie. The person in that graphic was Emma's mom.
Yes.
Can we explain why?
Why is Emma's mom in that graphic? Well, Emma, because she said, who do you want for the picture in our Slack? And Saul said, your mom. So she did it. She listened. Emma is nothing outside of excellent at
It's
trolling
probably one
all
of the few
us.
jobs in the world where you can say that as a GM and get away with it.
Yeah, this is for sure.
And she followed instructions masterfully. So congratulations, Emma. And to your mother, thank you for making your appearance on the show. By the way,
Yes.
Code says...
Emma's mom. Never mind.
Oh my God. Code said in the chat, Espo makes me wonder how I'm still single sometimes. Makes my wife wonder why she's not still single. So
Do you want to know what my mom said back?
What did she
Yes.
say?
So right now she's watching Espo. What was that movie called?
Oh,
arachnophobia.
yeah.
Yeah. So she's watching that movie, and she said that the intro was scarier than that movie.
I don't know. That movie scarred me for life, and the
she's
intro to this
terrified
did
of
not,
spiders
so.
too, your mom. So that's
Yeah.
saying something. Okay, we've got our next topic
All
from
right.
Eldon in the chat. Can Mikal be an all-star this year?
He can, but he needs to play at this level like he did tonight consistently, especially offensively. Defensively, he's going to be able to hold his own. He's got to make some differences. And when they play on national TV, he's got to make big-time defensive plays so they catch people's attention and think about him when they vote. Because he definitely has the talent to be an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, will he get the votes and will he get the coaches' votes to do so? That's always up in the air.
I think the West is too stacked, just to be honest. I'd love to see Mikal there, but he's not going to average enough points to where he's going to get that attention. Nights like tonight, there's no doubt that he's of an all-star level, but it takes getting national attention for your offense as well as your defense. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it enough.
Okay.
Perfect timing, everyone. Gerald is here. I like that segment. I think that was a solid segment.
Yeah, 2 questions. is
Gerald,
awesome.
welcome in. How you doing?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Not too shabby. So tonight's game, it wasn't the most exciting game, but a win nonetheless. What stood out to you?
Yeah, I think obviously the bench was the biggest thing to me. I think it was 54 bench points. I forgot to double check, but that was the number they kept saying post game. I'm really impressed with the way that the second unit is starting to come together just 5 games in. Obviously, you're playing a shorthanded Pelicans team, so that definitely helps. But on a night where Devin Booker didn't really have it going offensively the way he has through the first 4 games, you look at this bench coming in producing, Torrey Craig crashing the offensive glass, Landry Shamet making some plays on both ends, Cam Payne being composed and attacking the basket, and of course Jock Landale playing great on both ends of the floor. These are really encouraging signs for a bench unit that hasn't had too much time together so far. And then obviously Mikal Bridges going off on both ends of the floor was really huge as well.
I know that Lindsey said there was no update on DA, but what if anything did Monty say about Landale and Bismack and what they were able to provide tonight with DA out?
Yeah, I actually asked Monty about Biz and the luxury of having a guy like that as your third center who can come in and always stay ready. And he was saying that's something that we value on this team, the work that he puts in with assistant coach Mark Bryant to stay ready and to put himself in a good spot when he does get those situations. Obviously, Biz was saying after the game, you never want somebody to get hurt, but he credited faith as the reason why he's able to stay ready, the faith that he has, the life lessons that he's learned as far as his father's passing and how it puts everything about this game into perspective, that it is just a game. It makes it so much easier for him to put in all that work. And even when he doesn't get his number called, stay ready for these opportunities. And, we've seen it in practice so many times where after everyone's off the floor, Mark Bryant is throwing him passes full court and he's just running up and down, just dunking the ball, nothing extravagant, but he's getting that conditioning in to keep himself in phenomenal shape. And it shows on nights like tonight. He's barely played through the first 4 games and he comes out as a double-double off the bench, starts the second half for the injured DA. That's really impressive what he's able to do as a third big on this roster.
I have 2 questions. Number 1, what is it going to take? What is the chat going to have to do to convince you to turn around and say, "Go Phillies" to Mikal? And number 2, can you give us, that is Mikal behind you, right?
That is, yeah.
Okay. And then number 2, what everybody's been asking about Dario and his lack of playing time. What have you talked to anybody behind the scenes? Have you talked to Monty about that? What's the update on him?
Not really. That might be something that we'll definitely have to bring up in the future, maybe even at practice tomorrow, depending on what we hear about DA's ankle. If he's going to be out for even a couple of weeks, you would think that this might be an opportunity for Dario to see the floor a little bit more since we haven't seen him at all. I think it might just be a case of Landale's been playing really well, and Biz is kind of the big that they needed for this particular matchup against a supersized front court. It could be matchup dependent. We'll get some answers from Monty probably tomorrow at practice. But for the time being, I think it's just a numbers crunch at that position. Dario's best used as a 5, and maybe they haven't really liked what they've seen from him at the 4 to this point.
So
Are you
this
going to answer
one,
the first question or no?
oh, what's it going to take to talk to Mikal?
I don't recall what that question was. What was that question?
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Lies. Okay, so I know that Espo mentioned this. No update on Deandre Ayton thus far, but you said you talked with Torrey Craig. A lot of guys got hit in the face tonight. Did he get hit in the eye?
He did. He did get hit in the eye. He had to go back into the locker room, and they actually had to flush it out because he was saying that he couldn't see out of that eye at first. So they had to flush it out. He says it's fine now, and they gave him like a protective contact lens for him to wear tonight to allow it to heal. So yeah, I don't know how modern medicine works when it comes to the eye, but he said it sounded like everything's going to be fine.
Well, I don't think washing an eye out is exactly modern medicine, but okay.
Well, I'm sure it's saline solution, not soap and water, you guys.
I don't understand that.
It's saline solution.
Yeah, I know, but if you got hit in the eye, it's not like your eye's like dirty with gunk.
It could be.
He could have
There's
had something
sweat
in it.
all over those people's body, and if you catch that in the eye, now you got sweat all up in your eye. That's an infection waiting to happen. Gross.
Did we not learn anything from the pandemic, damn it?
So we're just going to reach around and rinse it off?
You're going to rinse it all
Put
out?
some hand sanitizer in there and get back out there, Torrey. Gerald, on a serious note.
That got out of control real quick.
How have
See
you...
how I get attacked on this show? I don't really like it.
How have you liked what you've seen out of Cam Payne in particular tonight? And did Monty say anything about his efforts?
Yeah, I actually did ask Cam Payne Monty about Cam Payne as well. And he was saying that with him, it's always a balance between, letting him attack and not limiting his ability to get downhill, but also finding the right balance of passing, scoring, and just staying in control, staying poised. He said he's really seen growth from him, especially when it comes to attacking the baseline, that little floater that he had on the baseline and being able to kind of probe the defense. He said last year he would get himself into trouble because he'd be going full speed, jump out of bounds, and like try to sling a pass to somebody on the perimeter. But he said he's kept his footing a lot better this year. He's found guys in that same spot. And he likes that he's putting pressure on the rim. Tonight was a night where we saw a lot more of those shots fall. So he said to start the season, he's seen a lot better balance from him on that front, and that's definitely encouraging.
Well, apparently there's a tweet. as soon as you were about to finish up, these two saw a comment in the chat saying, "Look at Jock's tweet to Mikal. Everybody go ahead and do so since this is the time to do it."
Got the
what
tweet.
does it say, Lindsay?
Mikal Bridges said game 1. I'm assuming he was talking about his Phillies for that one.
Yes.
And then Jock Landale quote tweeted it and said, "Quit hanging your tongue out when you throw lobs. You look ridiculous." With the tongue out, laughing face emoji.
So I actually got to show Mikal that tweet in the locker room. And he said, "Don't worry, I got something for him. So keep an eye out for Mikal."
I love it.
And that's the kind of reporting that we go to the GERTH.
A little Jock on Mikal crime. I like it. Let's do it.
So Gerald, Hassan in the chat did ask me to ask you if Mikal had mentioned anything about the Phillies in his post-game presser.
Yeah, so obviously he was super excited. He came into his presser wearing a full Phillies jersey and a Phillies hat. He said he just got back to the locker room after the game in time to watch the end of the game. So obviously he was stoked about that.
Did anybody tell him nobody cares?
Oh,
they did not. We were not going to.
Nobody cares here. Nobody cares.
Why would they be mean to Mikal? Of all people to be mean to, why would you be mean to Mikal?
Especially tonight.
Well, I would do it just because he's a Rams fan. So I'm like, nobody cares.
Gerald, important question from the Girthlings. Have you seen Black Adam yet, and is it worth seeing?
I have not, and I've kind of been scared off by all
What?
the negative reviews, so I have not seen it. No.
It was in the chat. From
No,
our
no, no. I'm
Waiting for
shocked that
Greg.
he hasn't seen
Yeah,
it.
Oh,
I'm kind
okay.
of shocked he hasn't seen it
Because
either.
usually he's there, like he's the first one in line. So
I'm more of a Marvel than a DC guy, and I know Espo will be sad to hear this, but other than like Batman, I kind of stay away from DC. For the
what
most
about the
part.
new Black Panther movie?
Oh yeah, I already bought my tickets weeks ago. For that.
See, I told you. I told you.
Opening night.
Gerald, maybe one afternoon we'll go over to the AMC over here. We'll go see Black Adam together.
Perfect.
Okay,
You'll
so
be
we
the only
have-
two in there.
We have 2 comments about Black Adam in the chat right now. One says it's awful, and the other said it was amazing. So
So there you go.
there you go.
So that'll probably be Girth and I. I'll probably be like, it's DC, cool, it's amazing. And
And
Gerald,
Gerald
will
will give it 2
"That
stars.
sucked."
2 stars out of 10. All right. Well, Gerald, thank
Gerald,
you so
thanks.
much. We appreciate your insight and for all the hard work you do. Hope you have a good Saturday.
You have a high collar right now. Do you have a different shirt or a different brand?
He's going to the
maybe.
club.
I am not going to the club. I'm going home to write.
Also, we confirmed tonight that Espo's never been to the club.
Never been to a club?
Not the club.
Oh,
I-
the club.
There
the-
must yeah.
None of that stuff.
No.
Okay. I mean, you're not missing much. It's okay.
You guys didn't go to a club in Vegas?
No.
Did we not?
No.
Oh.
The closest we came was watching Shane play Panda Slots. That was the closest I got to a club in Vegas.
It's true.
I was gonna say Lindsay was there for that. She should know, but she really wasn't there for that. So
No.
I was there for part of it.
She was there in spirit.
She had more important friends to go visit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Bye, Gerald.
Bye.
Bye, Gerald.
Hope you find your dad.
Bye, everybody. We're going to say goodbye.
Oh, that's
because
it?
we don't need to
Oh.
go down any more of these crazy, ridiculous rabbit holes.
Oh.
Hello, says Girth. Can Espo spend the night at your place? He's been kicked out.
No, you guys, Tracy said, okay, touche. Love you too. So
Yeah,
you guys are good
that's
now.
it.
You're good now.
She
Nice.
just knows I got to go build a bunch of birthday presents for my daughter.
Yeah.
tonight, so.
Also, she's like, well, I need him to come home first, and then I'm going to chew him out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you as always. Hopefully, if the Suns have practice tomorrow, we'll be able to get an update for you guys on Deandre Ayton. We will, of course, share that on our Twitter at PHNX_Suns. On Sunday, we will have a pregame and a postgame show for you guys. The pregame will be at 5:30 p.m. and then the postgame will be after the game wraps up. And
Don't forget to buy a ticket to the game next Friday,
Yes.
the takeover. That's the most important thing because 50 of us are going to have a great ass time over to watch the Suns get revenge on the Portland Trailblazers this time.
And the rest of you won't if you don't come out. So join
Yeah.
us.
This is
So
true.
also, I have enjoyed this banter between Brandon and Easy. Chill, guys. It's not that serious. It's okay.
Pop an OGs and enjoy your Friday night.
yeah, be nice to one another.
Nookie Monster.
Oh my
recommend.
God.
Okay, we
Yay.
should really go say goodbye before Espo does that again.
Okay.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lindsey Smith AZ. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourguet. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, don't do it in the Nookie Monster voice.
He was going to.
He
Thank
was.
you.
He was.
Take us home.
Somebody help Lindsay. She's got to deal with Saul and I. And that's just not fair. Ahoy, hoy.
Tell the Phoenix Metro, Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saul pass the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always